Hello, dear friends. I'm Zelda Kelly, and welcome to Seeing Crime, episode number 46. Thank you so much for being here. And before we even get started, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe now so you don't miss anything coming out because it just keeps getting better and better. And let's get into it. What I would like to do is a reading update for Karen Read. Since the 2020 airing, there's just been so much push and pull, and there was a lot of things that 2020 ABC did not, well, fairly include. Like David Yannetti. I mean, let's give him some love. He's a big part of the team. I mean, they had Alan Jackson, and of course he's so important. But what about David Yannetti? With that being said, I want to now introduce the decks that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to do this a little differently. Once again, I'm reading one-on-one for her. And of Karen, if you see this, I appreciate it so much. And we're just going to see, we're going to do a little checkup. We're going to see where things are going. We're going to see exactly how you're feeling about things as the time gets closer to the last quarter of the year. Introducing the cards. You may not have seen these cards before. I'm using them. Look, they've got gold gilded edges. They're called the Influence of the Angel Tarot, and I don't use them often because you can see how large this deck is compared to the Cartomancy deck that we are also going to use in the Hand of Fate. This is my fiery buddy, the old deck, and boy, it gives us some great meanings. But this isn't all that we're using. I have the Vintage Tarot. We're going to be using that as well. We have the Piatnik deck, if we need it. Of course, the House of Zelda cards are, well, they're around here. But I'm going to also use this Gilded Edge Kipper, the original Kipper. So we're going to see where this takes us. Now, one thing I want to show you, and I just love this. I just received these Kipper cards, and I am all about the boxes that these cards come in. This is just so beautiful. Look, just sturdy, and the feel is just wonderful. And you open it up, and it's just this little jewel. Decoding powerful messages. And that is the, you can say, author and illustrator of these cards. Aren't they beautiful? It's just a beautiful deck. I love it. I'm all about it. Okay. Karen is a Pisces. She is a February Pisces. This is the significator card in the tarot deck for Pisces is the Moon. And in this card, we see that there's a wolf. This is a dog and a wolf and a little lobster, crusty fellow, going through the path. The two gates of heaven, there's a goal. Now, this is a very empathic card, a very gut instinct. And with being a February Pisces, Karen has that same quality. She has very good gut instinct and a power of discernment. She can discern who is for her, who is against her. And that is why in that interview that you watched, when she told about how she walked into the house and she, right after John was pronounced dead, she walked into the house, she wanted to see the kids, and what did she say? I knew the mother was going to blame me. And that's when she got, her intuition led her in the right direction, that she needed to lawyer up. And thank God she did that, and she did not wait. That's wonderful. And I'm so glad that she did, because it's that gut instinct that has kept her one step ahead. And I mean, there's been times when it just feels like just a hair, right? But she's stayed one step ahead of this crew, the CW, and their minions this entire time. So let's get started. putting that to the side, we're going to put the hand to the side. And now we're starting with this beautiful deck. In fact, let me move the hand across. Thank you so much. And we're going to get started with this beautiful angels. Now, I shuffle off camera many times because, well, to me, watching shuffling is like watching paint dry. But I want to do a couple of little shuffles on here for you so no one thinks that I'm stacking cards or making things happen that shouldn't. So I think we're all set here, and so we are. So if we see that moon card come up for Karen, we know that that is a pointed, significant message for her. So now we're laying the foundation with this beautiful influence of the angels deck. And you're going to see what I mean, the lovers. Look how pretty. This just kind of reminds me of these Renaissance paintings. The lovers card, which is also a Gemini. I don't know if there's a Gemini in the mix, but we're going to find out. The Two of Cups. Wow. I have a feeling I see where this is going. The Ten of Wands. This fiery King of Wands. Isn't he handsome, though? I like these fire elements for her. The Page of Pentacles. Isn't he a sweetheart? One more. And this Queen of Pentacles. Look at her. Isn't that pretty? One thing I want to show you when we start reading these cards, and I'm going to put these to the side up here, is that each and every card that we pull out has a little angel. And of course, this one has a big angel, a blessing over two people. I believe that this was Karen and John. And, pardon me, I also believe that there's absolutely no way that John would want Karen to hold the bag like this. I'm confident of it. And I also feel that with this Two of Cups, yes, John and Karen were arguing that evening, but that doesn't mean that she wanted him to die like he did. So now before we continue, I would like to show you Officer John's significator card. He is a Sagittarius, and this is his card. So if he comes out, if this comes out, we know there is a message that is directed from his energy to Karen. So we're going to put this to the side. But, you know, that night at the waterfall, if you look, you know, and at the other bar, the two bars, if you look at the footage, they were pretty cozy. They were pretty cozy. And I think that there was a coming together with them. And like I said, you can't convince me that Officer John would want this to happen for her. Now, the one thing I want to point out, oops, pardon me, is see these little angels? Aren't they sweet? Angels over everything. But in this card, they're coming together. Two of Cups. It's a reconciliation, working together, and loving together. So, with that being said, now, I'm moving these two cards down because these are so large. Once again, look at this beautiful angel on the side. But this is the Ten of Wands, and anytime you have a 10 in the tarot, it is a completion. It is a time in which you know you've passed the test and you're moving on to the next chapter in your life. Well, this Ten of Wands means that she's moving on to the next chapter in her life. And I don't know what personally, and I mean personally, other than what is definitely in mainstream, But it does look like, you see, this person has these wands in front. Almost a burden to a certain degree. But sometimes we have to carry those lessons that we've learned from the past with us. Because if we don't, and if we don't utilize that lesson, we'll have to live that over and over again. So she's learned a lot in this, and it is actually fiery. But also with this, there's an indication that some doors are going to open. And with that, we have this, oh yeah, this guy. Now that is an angel there. A little funny looking one, but there is an angel there. But this King of Wands, you see, he's really into the fire. He's got that fiery going. This is the guy, this is the energy that makes things happen. Have you heard that expression, light a fire under someone to make them get busy? Well, I don't think you have to do that with Karen, but definitely she has that fire in her belly, so to speak. She's ready to get this going, ready to get it over with, ready to continue. That's good in her case. Now, here's the Page of Pentacles. Look at this sweet little fellow. This Page of Pentacles. The pages are always messengers. There's money. And it's a definitely, believe me, the CW has cost this woman so much money. However, I am also going to tell you, I feel that we're going to hear something about that lawsuit with Paul coming out. I feel that she's going to, because she's going to have to answer. She's going to have to answer to the lawsuit. And I think there's a preparation with this lawsuit because there's no way that she's going to pay. And I can tell you this, there's no way, in my personal opinion. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not an insurance person. I'm a card reader. But in my opinion, there's absolutely no way that any insurance or anything would pay for this lawsuit that is just out there in the cosmic unknown, floating like, what the heck? So she's going to have to answer. Her and her team will have to answer that lawsuit. I do believe that's coming soon. The Queen of Pentacles. This is definitely Karen. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who has a grip on finances, and that's definitely her. But I like this card because you see that there is, oh, look at this little angel. Isn't that sweet? There is definitely, you can see, putting things together. She's well dressed and she's got food in her basket. She's got whatever that is hanging there, a pentacle up hanging up, which means that she's saving. I like to call this card the Virtuous Woman card in many respects. You can look that up. I believe it's Proverbs 31, the Virtuous Woman. Taking care of household, family. She's doing everything that she can to do that. I like this. And she's staying steady. We would not see this card if she was not staying steady. So, okay, so now that we've got the larger cards on the table, I would love to get out this Kipper deck. Now, this is the old German Kipper deck. We're going to see now what's happening with this. First card out. I love the Gilded Edges, don't you? Let me know in the comments. Do you like these cards? I think they're beautiful, and sometimes we need a little change of pace, and this is a long road. And how appropriate, number 35. We're going to put that right there on that page. Next card. You see that? You see that? The thievery. Someone coming and taking right out of the pocket. We're going to address that card. I wanted to just really have you look at it for a few seconds. That's number 24. Number 10, a journey, that is for sure, into unknown territory, for certain. I can tell you this, well, well, I'll tell you in a minute. Let's finish these. A rich girl, that is Karen, number 12. What I was going to say is this. Sometimes, even as hard as we look to the future, we're not supposed to know it. Why? Well, because many times, and just like in the case of Karen, if Karen would have known everything in the beginning that she knows now, she probably would have folded. The same thing as many of us. I don't think any of us are immune. Think of the hardest thing that you've ever been through and think about if we would know about that in the particular future, what would we do to try to manipulate time and space and our surroundings and people to get out of it? And most likely cause more problems than what we would have is if we just let it go. 2 more cards. High honors. That comes out again. A pleasant letter. Good. Good. Let's talk about these cards. I'm putting these to the side. This journey card. It pretty much speaks for itself. Isn't that pretty? The long road. This isn't the journey card, but it may as well be. This has been a long road to hoe. Thank God she's not had to navigate by herself. But I do see that she still has a long road ahead of her. This will continue because she's going to prove the thievery. Not only did they steal from her freedom, this money that they've done nothing but cause her to break her, but also they stole John away from her. This journey card. I like this card because it's a balloon and she's rising above. Do you see what that means? She's rising above. So this next leg of this journey, my friends, she's rising above. She's taking the high road. And even though it's a long journey, she's definitely taking the high road. Now, the one thing about all this with Karen, this will stay with her for the rest of her life. She's going to be involved in some type of legal battle because, believe me, the tide of this battle is going to turn in Karen's favor, and she will be the one filing wrongful suits against the CW, in my opinion. Maybe even some state agencies, in my opinion. This rich girl tells us that that's exactly where she's going to be. She was in a pretty good comfort place to begin with, but she's going to be back again. This high honors, she's going to be held as one of the top. Definitely, I'm going to say this. Her case, and cases, plural, will be used as precedents in law going forward for the rest of our lives. Case precedents. A pleasant letter. She's got some good news coming. And oh, I love to hear that. Now, here we go with this vintage tarot. Let's see. Let's see what's up for Karen. The Death card. Doesn't surprise me. Now, don't get scared, everybody. Doesn't mean that. Number 5. 5 of Cups. The Ace of Cups. The 9 of Wands. I'm going to tell you her mindset. The 7 of Swords. These go to the side. Here's her mindset, my darlings. first of all, let me point out something for you. In this death card, now it doesn't mean death. However, I think it's symbolic in this because it's over here beside John. It's not predicting A, it's talking about A. But look very closely. Where's my little pointer? Look very closely what you have here. Now, let's take a moment and look very closely at this. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? This is telling that there has been a transformation and will be a new beginning. This flag is a harvest flag. This card means that Karen has a new, there's a new phase of her life coming. And yes, it's affected her personally to the point where she probably doesn't want to have a relationship for quite some time. I don't blame her. But let's talk about this. This is symbolic of John. Do you see this card? This 5 of Cups? This is a card of regret. She looks back and she regrets not going in, not looking, because when when John got out of the SUV, she was looking on her phone at a playlist. She knows he went inside because where else is he going to go? He did not walk around her SUV. He went to the door. But she is feeling regret. She's doing the what ifs. But there's a new beginning because she does know. And she, first of all, she also knows if she went in that house that night, we wouldn't be hearing about this case, obviously, because Karen would probably be right with John. And there would have been a problem there, because what would they have done if John, think about this, if Karen was in the kitchen with everybody and John went downstairs and this event happened and Karen was upstairs and she heard something and she started, how would she defend not only herself, but John? She would feel like she would have to. That's the Piscean in her. That is that no matter what, when you're a Pisces, when you love, it's unconditional. I do believe she loved John. This Ace of Cups, benevolent hand coming out to heal her and to help her heal with the emotions. Now, she has made some choices in the last few days. These choices coming out are going to be pretty significant, and we're going to hear about them. This is amazing because now we are in the 9th month. Month October is 10. This is the 9 of Wands. I think the month of September is going to be uncanny. There's going to be a lot happening even behind the scenes. But here's the one thing. You see this card. You see this person running, looking over their shoulder, dropping swords, not caring, and moving on. There is a ship in the background. There's, looks like tents back here. This person has stolen something. He's looking over his shoulder. Let me find it. You know what I'm doing. Looking over his shoulder because he doesn't want to get caught. She knows that these people are now starting to look over their shoulders ever since August 28th when Matthew Farwell got arrested. That ties in with this thievery card of how they have stolen so much from her. We may as well say it's stolen. That's the way it is. Now, my darlings, we are going to pull out some of these cartomancy cards. So far, Karen is definitely maintaining. She knows what she's up against. She knows she's got a long road to go. And there we go with the secrets. And wow, does that tie in or what? And the fact that this Joker is colored in. The other Joker is like a black and white only. It's like outlined only. This is definitely hidden things, hidden secrets, things that that no one wants to come out. She knows what they are. The 6 of Hearts, the 7 of Clubs, the 9 of Spades, and the 9 of Hearts. You know what, my darlings? I mean, she's feeling the whole gamut of emotions right now. This 6 of Hearts is definitely a dominant sacrifice that she has made. Definite, dominant, making a sacrifice in her lifestyle and in her life. She has lost some of her lifelong financial security. That's what this card is. And yes, she is concerned. I mean, I think it's healthy for her to be concerned. Because like she said, remember in the interview, she said, you just don't know. And she doesn't. I mean, there's a level of paranoia there that, bless her, my gosh, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. If I saw a cop car go by my house, I would probably be breaking down. This is definitely general worries to the point where possibly imagination going wild. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't think Karen has that problem of her imagination, because believe me, this supersedes any imagination you could probably even have. But I love this card for her. That is the yes card. Will she make it through? Yes. Will she be freed? Yes. Will she be acquitted eventually? Yes. I want to lay out some more of these before we go. And that's Karen. The Ace of Hearts is Karen. Look at the 4s. And the 9, or I'm sorry, the 10 of Hearts on top of the 9. You know, this 4 of Diamonds means that you have to wait on a decision to come, and that's exactly what she's doing. This is a card in which it's telling you, try not to doubt. You've got to wait and see. That's where this card is. But this card is based on bitterness, resentment in love, hurt, the affairs of the past affecting the affairs of the present, meaning not physical or love affairs, meaning situations and circumstances of the past that affects the present. Wow. And all of this happening, all of this, the sacrifices that she's made because of the secrets that these people have kept, you're going to see a change with Karen putting these to the side. You're going to see a change with her, my darlings, because there's going to be this time when Miss Karen all of a sudden comes out like a little baby barracuda. No, I'm going to say a badger. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't know what a badger is, look it up. Because what they'll do to protect themselves is frightening. I'm just going to tell you. They'll take on a lion in the wild and can down a lion by what they do. So, yes, Miss Little Sweetheart. Yes, our Miss Little Karen, the badger. A letter. Okay, so this is that's what she's getting. There's pleasant news coming to her very soon. That's this. The widower. Well, and misfortune. Yeah. Okay. It's a definite misfortune about what happened about John. And you can see how this just keeps pointing back to him. Well, obviously, because it's about him. What a misfortune. And some money. That is this Page of Pentacles. Definitely some money coming. And look at that little angel in the background. Just very faint. But she's got angels all over the place. Last but not least, my darlings, and you know what's coming is the House of Zelda. And we're going to just take 3 cards. Right, Zelda. 3 cards. Unexpected news. All right, my darlings, she's got some news coming. With all of this is definitely, this gives me chills. And it should you too, because this is coming. And I don't know what it is planetarily wise about the September the 13th, Friday the 13th. We wait and see. It could be generated on the 13th, and she may not know until next week. But I'm going to say there's a letter, there's a pleasant letter, and unexpected news coming. So she's going to get something. She's going to get, and it's pleasant. I don't think it's going to be very bad, but it is serious. And time is needed. Okay, so I'm going to say that there's more coming for her. But I think some of it is even generated from her side. So in conclusion for Miss Karen, she's doing her best to hang in there. She's not allowing things to jerk her chain, bottom line. She's got a divine presence over her. Money is an issue, but she's handling this. And we did not address this card, which is the 10 of Hearts, which is a success card. Success in all areas. I believe it. I believe it. I just do not believe that Karen will succumb to this witchery, this manhunt, this woman hunt, this, yeah. Hang in there, my darlings. Karen is hanging in there too. We're going to see more from her. I want to see this unexpected news. I want to see this letter. I want to see these things happening. Wouldn't it be great if we saw something from the appeal process? Thank you so much for watching. And I'm here for you. If you would like to have a reading with me, I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to order. And when you ask me questions, I lay out the cards just like this. I use 4 decks. We're going to get you some answers. That's what it's all about. And again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again next time. And I'm excited to bring the cards back to you. And Karen, hang in there, darling. See y'all soon. Bye-bye.